Well, here we are on YouTube. Nathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Ryan. On this beautiful Saturday morning, we're just a reacting today.
This is a PayPal request from Mr. Steven, who's in our Discord right now. So again, our Discord is free for everyone. Join. Just check out the description below of every video. Join our Discord. You can join the chats of everyone's request. Come in live, listen to us. And if you do a request, it's kind of nice. You get tagged and say, hey, we're about to do your request. And you can tell us things during the song. So Jeff Buckley, have you ever heard of him?
No idea who that is.
No, it's weird how a lot of these. What I find interesting, Nathan, in our Discord, how many people know things, even though somebody else didn't request a song, they'll also chime and say, "Oh, I know this," and it's like, where are you and I in all this? I don't understand.
Under a rock.
We know a lot of the mainstream stuff. Let's be honest. I would assume Jeff Buckley, though in his own right, probably a renowned artist and well received artist. The fact that you and I can go our whole life never hearing about him, I don't know. That might mean something.
I have no way to respond to that.
We're gonna get in trouble no matter what we do. Okay, so this song is called Grace, and it's from his album called Grace, and it's the first single from that album called Grace. Again, another highly reviewed album.
What year is this?
94.
94, okay.
94, yeah. So you and I were 19 at the time. So we just probably weren't looking for Jeff Buckley albums at the time. At 19, we're, where's our Megadeth? Where's our Metallica? Where's our Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith? That kind of,
Yeah.
We just weren't listening for Jeff Buckley stuff. But highly reviewed album, ranked very high at the time, and still now to this day. So I'm actually really curious to see what the buzz is about this guy. But unfortunately, Jeff Buckley has already passed away.
No, wow. Why are all these artists dead?
I don't know. It's weird. I guess they knew that we one day review them on our channel. They'd rather be dead than hear our reviews. So
very true.
That's my guess.
That makes
so he died shortly after this album. Sorry, He died shortly after. Yeah, May of '97, the age of 30.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
30.
Gone too soon. 30.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, is it worse?
Buckley went swimming, fully dressed, in the Wolf River Harbor, singing the chorus, Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin while he was swimming. Keith, a roadie in the band, remained on shore. After moving a radio guitar out of reach of the wake from a passing tugboat, Keith looked up to see that Jeff Buckley had vanished. Wake of the tugboat has swept him away from shore and underwater.
Oh, boy.
Wow. So he just jumped in the water for fun with his clothes on. A tugboat happened to go by at the same time, and it just pulled him under. The weight of his clothes, his shoes maybe. And there was no signs of drugs or alcohol in his system. It was just an accidental drowning. He was just out there having fun in the water.
That's my worst fear of a way to die, by the way.
Really?
Is drowning. Yes. I hate water.
Yeah, mine is, I would say, burning to death. Being like roasted to death, I would find that terrifying. Drowning, I think you would black out pretty quickly.
I guess, but just the idea of going without air and then you can do nothing and you just sit there not breathing until, I guess that would be okay.
Yeah. Actually, the one way I do want to die, if it has to be not natural, is a plane crash. The sound of the engine, the ground's coming closer and closer. Everyone's like, ah! Everyone's shaking, holding the seats, ah! And then we. Oh yeah, all right. A lot of musical artists have died by plane crash.
This might be the longest intro we've ever done.
I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go. Jeff Buckley Grace.
Buckley Grace.
Perhaps the most critically feted artist to emerge last year with his debut album Grace, Jeff Buckley has been fervently embraced both by seasoned rock historians and younger fans. The historians are impressed by the fact that Jeff shares the extraordinary vocal elasticity of his father, 60s cult singer-songwriter Tim Buckley, while the rest are simply overwhelmed by the swooning passion of his performances. Raised in Orange County, California, he played the Greenwich Village coffee houses and recorded a one-off EP for a British independent label before signing for Columbia. This week, Jeff Buckley is playing a brief British tour, and tonight he's here in the Late Show studio to play the title track from his album, Grace.
Asking to stay
Oh boy.
Jeff Buckley, who will be returning to Britain for the London show in early March.
Sorry.
And that's all from the Late Show tonight. Fintan O'Toole will be
Okay,
here tomorrow
well,
with
we'll
the
see you
soprano
later
and
then.
the poet.
All right.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, and we'll have a little spot of tea when we're done with this production, shall we? Sit
Yeah.
down and join us.
Some crumpets.
Wow, I was blown away by the performance, especially the ending. I mean, his vocal range at the end there, that came out of nowhere. I was like, what are we doing here? Just
Yeah.
hey, look what I've got up my sleeve here.
As I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, unique voice, kind of grunge sound.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought, like, where does this fit in history? And then as his voice hit some of those higher things, I was like, oh, okay, Led Zeppelin. Like, very, very strong Robert Plant vibes coming from his vocal range. Yeah. It felt like grunge kind of meets Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, no, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah, grunge meets Led Zeppelin. I like that. Well, this was the grunge days. This was 94. So definitely that was in, Pearl Jam's 10 has already been out for a few years. Soundgarden's albums are out, Stone Temple Pilots. But what I like about this, not grunge, it's kind of like this is the era of music that we're in. You can get the sense that, he's a kid. He's 27 years old. He's young. So he's around that sound, but he still makes it his own. It's got a clean guitar, not a grunge sound. So it's like he kind of mixed, almost like you would say, like an Eddie Vedder meets Robert Plant type vocal sound. So he's got that nice, clean voice, not too low. But boy, when he's able to, that screech yell at the end, it makes me very curious about other stuff. But as he was doing it, and as I'm enjoying the performance, I'm like, well, that's great. It's over. I hate that feeling. It's selfish to think that this guy's dead, and here I am just like, that's not fair. He's not giving me more music. But that's what makes it so heartbreaking is when these young artists, through accident or overdose or whatever it might be, they're dead. It reminds me of, I know this is kind of, well, it's not off topic, but it's a different venue of entertainment. Brandon Lee, the son of Bruce Lee, he died tragically on a movie set at a young age. And he was just starting to break into the action film genre and films in general. Of course, his big movie being The Crow. That was his last big movie. He died on that set, the filming of that movie. And I remember I saw that movie in the theaters when I was a teenager, and I'm loving the movie. But the whole time I'm loving the movie, I'm depressed.
Yeah. Knowing
because you're watching something like, oh, I'm really digging this. I'm digging this guy. What great charisma. What great screen performance charisma. But I'm never going to enjoy this again. Like, there's nothing else to enjoy. This is it. I've had the very similar type of like sadness watching this young, talented, good-looking kid. If this is his first album, what would have happened had he continued? He would be 56 now, right? And had he had 2.5 decades of music behind him, anyways, it's heartbreaking.
That's well said. I think I had similar feelings as I was watching it. This was, I mean, not that this song is as good as it gets. We don't know the other songs from these guys, but this is a sample of his life at that point, and there's nothing else afterwards. So,
no. All right. Well, that was another depressing episode of Well, here we are on YouTube. If you want us to be depressed, keep sending us dead artists. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. We only want artists under 30 who have died before they're 30.